Hey, so I am not a math or curriculum expert. Sorry, we were at a farm all morning doing tulips. But my understanding of why spiral math curriculums are not the best is because with math, you really, really want to, especially in the younger years, work towards mastery, not skimming and review and coming back to and like, oh, if you didn't learn it the first time, we'll hit it again later. Review is super important, especially if you look into like SRS, spaced repetition systems for memory recall and learning and studying. Those are great techniques. But when it comes to a spiral math curriculum, you don't do mastery oftentimes. And so if the goal is mastery, so that you master each step along the way, you have a better chance. I probably have dirt on my face too, sorry. You have a better chance of doing what is needed and having those things solidified in your mind as you get older. And so like I think for review, a spiral is fine. But my understanding, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert, but my understanding is that you want to do mastery. So like, this also comes from like more of the classical approach where you master fewer things rather than being like broadly exposed to and not knowing or understanding anything. With public schools, a lot of times they do more spiral because everybody has to do it. And so like everybody has to move on. And so like the spiral, I think, works in a classroom where there's one teacher and 30 kids, or one teacher and 10 kids, whatever the situation may be. And one of the beauties of homeschool is that you have the opportunity to learn things to mastery. The Good and the Beautiful curriculum, I've only looked at the kindergarten. My kiddo is 4, and there's only about like 10 pages out of, I don't know, like 20, 30, I don't know. I made a list one time of pages I thought about printing off, and there were only a few. I was like, most of them, it wasn't because they were bad or wrong, but you can do the same thing with like physical toy cars, or you can do the same thing with a lot of just like manipulatives or silverware or plates or cups or like anything that you have around the house. It could be rocks outside, it could be bricks, it could be like whatever you have. I think you can do it in a way more adequately, or like and even like alpha blocks, like doing an alpha blocks episode, like we're working on that, or doing it over and over and over and repeating and kind of drilling it more is more the mastery approach, and that is more effective for math, especially in the younger years, like second grade, probably third grade. I don't know beyond that at all. Like I'm not there yet. I have, like there's like one page on something, and like 10 pages later, there's like something else on the same thing. And it's just it'd be fine, but I don't think it's the best. There's something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, I think also a big part of like why I wasn't excited about a lot of them were just like, I don't need to print off a picture of 8 apples and then 4 cars. This isn't exactly what it was. And then like which one is greater than I can just take 4 rocks and 4 grapes and like 4 crackers or whatever, 4 fruit snacks, whatever it is, and have him pick which one. Like I can have him physically do it. So that's why the spiral isn't the best, in my opinion. And I've heard a lot of, I want to say, I think Memoria Press, and there's a classical education, Dr. Perrin, starts with a P, who does some classical education teacher training that I've done. Listen to and so with him, I think Memoria Press and him would agree that it's maybe not the best. I'm not sure where Charlotte Mason is on spiral versus, and I don't think review is bad. Review is great. That's specifically addressing what my understanding of why spiral is not the best for math curriculums is. You want to have some of those basic, especially in the early years, you want to have those fundamentals down. You want to be able to like see 7, see 5, and know the answer. You want to see, if you take away 5 from 7, you want to just know it. You want to like have it memorized, but also just know and understand. And supinization, where you visualize it. Like you want to be able to see a dice with a 5 on it and know that it's 5, and then see a half of a 10 frame filled and know that there's the same thing. Like you want the kid, and I'm not great with math. So like part of why I've been learning this is because I need to learn it. And like knowing the times tables, like you need to drill and know the basics. And I think like how with reading up through 3rd grade is like learning to read, and then you're reading to learn after that. My understanding too is like with math, the basics, you need to know the basics before you move on. And so if a child doesn't get the basics or comprehend it, moving on can be not good. And that's like, there's studies done on a lot of the kids that have like the really bad reading levels as adults are ones that like had really bad 3rd grade years, or like were sick a lot their 3rd grade year, those types of things. And so or didn't get held back when they should have, those types of things. And I think my understanding is that math is very similar for kids that did not have their math facts down, like the basics. I think I want to say it's Memoria Press would argue that almost through 6th grade, that seems really high. It might be 3rd. Sorry, I don't remember. But like for quite a while, if all you know is like your math facts and you know them inside and out, backwards and forwards, you're going to be way farther ahead than if like you kind of know them, but then you kind of know geometry and you kind of know fractions and you kind of know several things. So that's my response. That's my response of like my understanding of it. And again, I'm not an expert. So yeah, thanks guys.